Hi, my name is Jake Wild and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking all things Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard. Oh yes, I'm obsessed. This is episode 3 of Tufton Talk, and I'm going to tell you right now, the rug has nothing to do with the topic, so just roll with me here. I've been wanting to do a Blue Ranger rug, so that's what we're going to be making today, but I'm going to be talking about the trial because I've been watching it every single day and I just can't get enough. So let's have some fun and read this page all the way down. If you've been on the internet lately, you've seen the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard trial. It is everywhere, and I could talk about this topic for hours, but today we're mostly going to focus on Amber. As if she needs it, I'm going to give her another moment in the spotlight. She loves attention, after all. The court is dark this week because the judge had to be at a convention, so I had to get my law fixed somehow, and here we are. Background first, Amber Heard is the ex-wife of Johnny Depp. In 2018, she wrote an op-ed, which is an opinion piece, in the Washington Post, calling out people who protect male abusers, and talking about her experience with domestic violence and domestic abuse, which even though Johnny wasn't named, it was heavily implied that it was about him. This led to Johnny losing his role in Pirates 6 as well as Grindelwald in the Fantastic Beasts franchise. Keep in mind that this was the height of the Me Too movement, so if the companies didn't act fast and didn't listen to the public, then they were going to get a lot of backlash. Movies might be entertainment, but money is always number one. So they said, I'm not even going to investigate. I don't care if it's true or not. We don't need this bad publicity. Bye. Deuces. Even though Johnny is Pirates is Johnny. Alright. So he was fired. And in hindsight, what these companies did was absolutely irresponsible because no one ever investigated anything. They just jumped to conclusions and made drastic decisions. Like everybody else, we are taught to believe survivors. We should believe survivors. So we took Amber at her word. But when more than money is at stake, someone's reputation, then maybe we should take a step back. Johnny says he'll never work with Disney again, so there goes Pirates 6. We're supposed to believe survivors, and Amber took advantage of that and destroyed a man's life. Mind you, the article was released on December 18th, 2018, 2 days before the release of Aquaman. Coincidence? I think not. Side note, the bitch is sickening in the movie. She's powerful and stunning, and no, the acting is not the strongest, but she's fabulous. And I just wish she wasn't like this. I'm trying to disconnect the character from the actress, I understand. It's just so hard when the real person has said so many outrageous things that if I turn the movie on and see a character, it just reminds me of things that she said. The success of Aquaman is not due to her alone, but it is worth mentioning that it grossed over $1 billion worldwide, and it is the 24th highest grossing movie of all time. Her article being published 2 days before the release of Aquaman, does that have anything to do with its success? I don't know. I really don't know. But I just think it's really odd timing, especially because this was going to be her biggest role. During the trial so far, Johnny has testified for many days, speaking very slowly. Many people on his staff, his house managers, different security guards, his accountant, a lot of people have testified and they love this man. And no one on his staff ever witnessed Johnny being violent to Amber. Let's talk about the star of the moment, Miss Amber Laura Heard. There's so many things to say. Let's just get right into it. Amber's outfits have been all over the place. I don't really understand the vibe. I don't really understand what she's going for because every day it's something different. We've got a tight bun, we've got the hair down, we've got the button up, we've got the dress. I just don't understand really what's happening here. When she testified, she looked like an elderly woman waiting for her next serving of Jell-O because she doesn't have any teeth. She looked like Anne with an E, a colonial woman, Little House on the Prairie. The colonial woman on the wing, she is churning butter. She is churning butter. That's what she was delivering during her own testimony. Is she trying to look weak on purpose? Probably. Yeah, because there's also a clip of Amber and Johnny almost crossing paths, but she steps back, ball change, because she's so afraid of him. Oh my god, danger, danger. And he's like, I mean, what? I didn't say anything. It's just hilarious as we find out more and more things that she really, really in her head wants to be the victim and him be the abuser when it's absolutely the opposite. There's also a couple of weird instances where it looked like she was copying Johnny's outfits the day after he wore them, like mocking him. I don't know. She's just a freak. Let's talk about Amber and her tissueography. The first instance we see, she looks like she's posing for a picture. Oh, look at me, sad, I sad. Take the picture. Okay, they got it? All right. All right. It's just so strange. It's so strange. There's also like a few times where she wipes her nose with her tissue and then wipes her nose with her finger as if she didn't get it. What are you using a tissue for if you're just gonna use your nasty ass finger? Not to mention the tissue box next to her never changes. There's a tissue in the beginning just floating in the breeze, and it's still floating in the breeze by the end of it. So she brought that tissue with her. The next time she does choreo with her tissue, people are theorizing that she is sniffing powdered sugar. Listen, there's a strong case for it, but I just truly don't see how this woman could sneak that into the court. But I really don't know what this woman is capable of at this point, and I would be doing powdered sugar if I had this legal team, okay? Because can we say incompetence? Yeah. That's what it is. So let's talk about her legal team's incompetence, shall we? Listen, maybe they get nervous. I don't know what the fuck is their problem. But they have made so many wrong turns in this case. It's like, okay, can we just give it to Johnny already? Because these people, like, is this law school? You know what I was saying while I was watching this live stream? I think they need to go back to law school, maybe for a week. Maybe for 2 weeks. Because you know when you get pulled over for a driving ticket and you've got to do traffic school on a Saturday, you can do it online now. I think that's what they need to do. They need to be refreshed about how the court works and how this gig runs. Because clearly, not only do they come unprepared to work, but during questioning, they object themselves. Oh, yes, they do. This is Rottenborn. He objected to himself during the cross. Take a look.
You didn't know what could cause damage to Mr. Depp's hand while you were there on March 8th, correct?
Dr. Kipper told me he'd sustained an injury on one of his fingers.
Rejection, hearsay.
Wait, you asked the question. Next question.
Okay, you said he sustained an injury to...
Yeah. So that's really, really good. It's really, really good. But at this point, Amber can't fire her attorneys. She's just got to keep them, roll with the punches. Maybe they're doing their best. I really don't know. Wouldn't you be prepared for this? I mean, he filed this lawsuit quite a while ago. You should have hired somebody else. Her other golden egg of an attorney is Elaine. Now, Elaine, she's got a bob. She's got a voice that gets on my last fucking nerve. Sounds like something's always stuck in there. Like something's in there. I don't know what it is. Beside her God-given talent, Elaine has so many other issues, and we're definitely going to take a look at them. First, Elaine and her obsession with Amica cream.
Are you familiar with Amica cream?
What is it?
Amica?
Amica?
Yes.
No.
Okay. And you don't know whether she had applied Amica cream, correct?
No.
And
I didn't even know what Amica cream is.
All right. Do you know whether she had applied any Amica cream that morning to her face?
No.
And do you know whether Amber had any Amica cream on that day?
No. I don't know.
And I'll try to make this faster. Do you know whether Amber was wearing concealer, foundation, powder, or tint that day?
I don't know.
Again, do you know whether she was wearing any Amica cream?
The fact that this witness cracked up on the fucking stand made everybody else in the court laugh too. It's just comical, and Elaine is just standing there like, are you gonna answer the question? I've only asked you 7 times. That's what Elaine does. She continues to ask the same question because she's not getting the answer that she wants. But this man didn't even know what Amica cream was. I don't know why you keep asking if Amber was wearing it.
You were, in fact, so excited about being involved in this case that you told your husband, even though this was a highly confidential matter, that you were going to be conducting the examination of Ms. Heard, didn't you?
That is not accurate.
You not only told your husband, but you told Ms. Heard that you told your husband, correct?
Ms. Bredoff, that is not accurate. May I clarify what occurred so that we can stop talking about the muffins? I was getting ready. I asked him to go to the bakery near our house and pick up the muffins for me because I was running late. I think I made a comment to her along the lines like, my husband got these for us today, meaning he purchased the muffins. We are now enjoying them because of him.
Why did your husband get the muffins for Amber Heard?
He did not get the muffins for Amber Heard.
Background for the second clip. The expert witness called on Johnny's side is named Dr. Curry. Now, she's a bad bitch. I could do a whole video on her because she came up, she sat in that chair, she was memorized, she was prepared, she has rehearsed for this. The expert on the other side, on the other hand, she needs rehearsal. She needs rehearsal. She needs preparation. She needs memorization. The expert witness called on Amber's side is named Dr. Hughes. Now, look what Elaine does, not once, but twice. Elaine, take it away.
Dr. Curry, Dr. Hughes, I don't know why I keep doing that. My apologies. Dr. Hughes, I think it's the confusion of having her in the courtroom.
She has the nerve. She has the fucking nerve to say, oh my God, it's just confusing because Dr. Curry's in the courtroom. Okay, you're a lawyer, number one. Number two, you're old. Number three, this is a very high-profile case, okay? The expert witness on the other side sitting in the audience should not faze you. You should know who the fuck you're talking to. Don't blame it on Dr. Curry. Dr. Curry is a queen, all right? Girl, bye. Now let's talk about that expert witness, Dr. Hughes, because she's got her own problems. It wasn't just Elaine, all right? Her testimony was a fucking mess because she didn't know what the hell she was doing. Her sass, her attitude, not knowing the rules of the court, all of these culminated in very interesting testimony. It's just interesting that she sat up there making so many mistakes because she said, allegedly, that she's testified 50 times, which makes absolutely no fucking sense because Dr. Curry went up there. She said, I've only testified maybe 15 times. She knew all her shit. This bitch is sitting there saying that she's done this 50 times and yet she doesn't know the basic rules of the court and then gets irritated when she gets called out for doing something wrong. Now, let me give you some law education I learned from Emily D. Baker. When you are testifying in court, you cannot read off of a piece of paper that you brought up with you because that is hearsay. That paper must be brought up by the lawyer during questioning and it needs to be submitted into evidence so the other side can see what the hell you're looking at. When you go up to testify as a witness, especially an expert witness, you should have nothing in front of you except maybe some water. This woman gets mad at Johnny's attorneys for objecting when she is the problem. I don't know if it was the manifestation of the annoyance that she had with herself for continuing to mess up or because they weren't letting her break the rules, but either way, she acts like a child. It just doesn't add up because they take so much time to establish that she is an expert. Her resume is long. She is well qualified for this position. She's got an office on Madison Avenue. Oh, excuse me. She's bougie. She's getting paid a lot to be here. And yet she doesn't know what she's doing. She says, well, I don't want this to turn into a memory test.
Correct. I just don't want this to be a memory test of having conducted many documents, 80 pages of notes,
But you
and 12
can-
psychological testings to,
You can reference your notes, just don't read from them, okay?
yeah, no problem.
Okay, great.
Bitch, that's exactly what the fuck it is. Not only should you know every word that should come out of your mouth, you should know every name of every test that you did on Amber, the results of every test, all the details, and then anything else that you know that you're not going to be able to remember, you should have given that to the lawyers because you're working together on this, okay? And they could have pulled it up and presented it in evidence. Instead, this bitch comes in here with her glasses half down, pretending to not read the paper. 50 times, my ass. And the straw that broke the mermaid's back was when she was giving tood and sass, not only to the lawyers, but to the judge. Watch this.
So I administered,
Objection, hearsay, Your Honor.
She can refresh her recollection.
As long as she's not reading it.
Right, you just can't read. That you're not supposed to read from it, but you can refresh your recollection as you're speaking.
so I can look and just look up and that's refreshing my recollection? Okay.
All right, if we could approach for a moment.
She's such an idiot, really. It's crazy how some of the smartest people can act the dumbest. For real. Oh, excuse me. So not only does she get annoyed with Johnny's lawyers, she gets annoyed with Amber's lawyers and the judge. So she's annoyed with everybody. I think in that moment she didn't really realize that the judge was the one saying that and not the lawyer. I don't know why you're even annoyed at Elaine anyway. Elaine is doing her fucking best with what she's given. If I was Amber, I would start counting my coin. Because I don't know how she's going to pay these lawyers. I don't know how she's going to pay Johnny. Didn't they prepare this witness for the stand? It's almost like they just called Dr. Hughes and they were like, hey girl, we know you from other cases before. Can you do this one? It's a big one. It's a big one. She was like, yeah, I got this. I'm going to test her and I'm going to write it down in bad handwriting in the margins. And I'm not even going to rehearse because I'm a bad bitch and I know what I'm doing. Done this 50 times. No, you should have rehearsed it. You should have rehearsed it. The craziest part about this is that she looks right at the jury when she goes, she couldn't be bothered. She couldn't be bothered to be here. If you don't want to be here, bitch, you shouldn't have signed up for this. You knew what this was going to entail because you'd done it 50 times. But you signed up because you wanted that check, you wanted that coin, you wanted the publicity, and now it's not good publicity, okay? No one is going to hire you to testify for them ever again. And then we get to Amber. The one-woman, 2-day show of a testimony. She was never a good actress to begin with, and she has the nerve to come up on this stand and attempt to give a Shakespearean sonnet about everything that Johnny has put her through. Yeah. Based on this self-tape, I'm just confused as to how she booked any of her previous jobs. Before we get into this, Amber is gorgeous. Okay, maybe not in court, but she is stunning on screen. In Aquaman, I hate to admit it, but she slayed as Mera. She was commanding the ocean. She blew wine out of wine bottles, turned them into daggers, and stabbed her own people. So she's a bad bitch. She looked incredible in every shot. But that doesn't forgive her bad acting. Secondly, it's clear that this relationship was toxic for both of them. There's a lot we don't know and a lot we probably will never know. But I believe that Amber was absolutely the aggressor. She's been caught in so many lies that it's hard for me to believe anything she says anymore. When she first started her testimony, I really wanted to believe her so bad, but it just got worse and worse. Let's watch some of the highlights from her testimony.
I swung at him. In all of my relationship to date with Johnny, I hadn't landed a blow. He grabbed me by the arm and slammed me up against the hallway wall, and it didn't hurt my face. It just felt embarrassed. Did he do that to me in front of people? He just kicked me in the back. I fell to the floor. I caught myself on the floor, and I just felt like I was looking at the floor of the plane felt like a long time. And I thought to myself, I don't know what to do. I can't believe he just kick me. I remember it kind of like a little pot, not a pot, but like a vase. I knew who he was. I wasn't familiar, I wasn't a fan of his work. I wasn't familiar with him, but I knew who he was. He's one of the most famous people in the world. Only way out of this is death. Only way out of this is death.
Not a tear. It's giving Laura Lee. This bitch is trying hard to convince the jury that this fictional novel that I have written is truth. Honestly, I do not think that they are picking up what she is putting down. Because Johnny sat there and he just told what he knew. Some of his shit could have been lies too. We will never know. But he definitely did not give a performance. And she's over here. Now, I don't doubt that this has been painful for her. But you cannot come up here and give us some bullshit story, numerous bullshit stories. When you've already destroyed this man's life, at this point, just tell the truth. Just tell the truth, because allegedly Amber is worth like $2.5 million, so she's not even going to be able to pay $50 million to this man. Now, I understand in court there's certain things you can kind of stretch the truth on, kind of skirt around, but she was up there just spinning her web of lies, and she did not have one care in the world. And then Johnny's team comes out in a statement and says that she just gave the performance of her life. Maybe she did. It wasn't a good one. Wasn't a good one. She also did some weird things like quoting lines from movies.
But I will cut off my hand before I reach for you again.
He said, I'd rather cut my hand off than ever lay it on you or lay it upon you.
Where? What happened here?
Whoa, what happened here?
Oh, you think it's funny, bitch?
You think it's funny, bitch?
Drink tea. There's lots of tea.
But like lots of tea. Like lots of tea.
And the way she retells things, it literally doesn't make sense.
I lose my balance. At this point, we're sitting next to each other on the edge of the couch, or I was on the edge of the couch. I was just sitting there on this carpet, looking at the dirty carpet. When I was walking out of the bedroom, slapped me across the face. I turned to look at him, and I said, Johnny, you hit me.
I don't know. I don't know if you know. I don't know. The only thing I do know is it's fascinating to watch, and I can't wait to see who they cast in the film based on this trial. Whoever plays her will probably win an Oscar. I feel like Anne Hathaway could pull it off. I don't know if you've seen her portrayal of Rebecca Newman in We Crash on Apple TV+, but if you haven't, run to watch this shit right now because she is a maniac. She gives us a lot. The full spectrum of emotions, so she can definitely handle this role. Let's briefly talk about the pictures that Amber brought to court. I'd like to mention that Johnny pulled up with pictures of his literal severed bloody finger, and Amber pulled up with this. Now come on, girl, you expect us to believe that you're hurt in these pictures? You expect us to believe that you're hurt. Okay, here's another one of her hair. Interesting, right? She said that he pulled her hair out of her scalp. He pulled her across the floor by her hair. Girl, what? What the fuck are you saying? You really said that he pulled the hair out of your scalp? Girl, where? Where? Because that is your scalp. That's all I see. Your scalp. Everybody has that. So I had Andrew take a picture of my head so we could compare. Look at that. You see that? That's something that everybody has. That's scalp. That's hair growth. That's hair formation. Because by your logic, somebody must have pulled a real good chunk out of my head. If that's really what that is. Yeah, I guess Andrew pulled me across the apartment by my hair. He took a good bit out and there's the chunk. Notice in her picture, we don't see any bruising. We don't see any blood. We really don't even see any hair missing. We just see roots and scalp. So, Amber even admits to not only writing the article.
Why are you here?
I am here because my ex-husband is suing me for an op-ed I wrote.
But in an audio they played in court, she said out loud that she hit Johnny.
You got hit. I'm sorry I hit you like this, but I did not punch you. I did not fucking deck you. I fucking was hitting you. I don't know what the motion of my actual hand was, but you're fine. I did not hurt you. I did not punch you. I was hitting you.
Case fucking closed, right? I don't know what else to say. Even though there was so much damning evidence involved in this case, there were still huge mistakes. Her legal team's incompetence, her expert witnesses' incompetence, and her weird-ass testimony.
My dog stepped on a bee. We went to the vet.
She has nothing on her side. Really. I can believe that this relationship wasn't good for either of them. I think they had good moments, but I think the bad moments outweighed the good. I can see how at times he got angry. I can see how Johnny had a drug problem. He went through withdrawals. He tried to get better. He struggled. And when he struggled, she made sure to capture that struggle in order to use it against him in the future. I could also see how he could be extremely jealous. So yes, while he has things he needs to work on, he definitely isn't the aggressor in this relationship. I just don't see him as a violent or threatening person. He is loved by his staff, and no one on his staff has ever seen him hit Amber, but they have seen Amber physically punch him. Oh yes, right in the face. So, as for Amber, she makes me angry, physically angry, but I feel bad for her. She needs help, and it seems like even after all these years, she still hasn't gotten the help that she needs. I don't think that she can admit to herself that she has any problems. I think in her head, she will be an eternal victim, and that's what it's gonna be. I think she loves attention. She doesn't like when she doesn't have it. It's either her way or the highway, and I think it's very possible that she cheated on Johnny. She's got issues. I don't think that she should never work again, per se, but I don't think she'll ever work again in entertainment. If she would have hired a better team, maybe she would have had a chance, because it just seems like she keeps getting hit after hit after hit. But you know what? Karma. That's all I'm gonna say. We should believe survivors who have the courage to tell their story, because historically, we haven't. Now with this situation, it's gonna make people think twice. And hopefully, it makes companies think twice before just killing somebody's career. Maybe we should do a bit more investigation. But I'm all here for the main message of what she was trying to say, was that male abusers are protected, especially those with power and money and notoriety, and that needs to stop. Johnny Depp is one of the most beloved actors of all time. People love this man. They're waiting outside the courthouse to throw gifts into his car. Iconic. And I'm glad that this case is being televised, because Johnny's reputation is being repaired before our eyes, while Amber's, on the other hand, is being torn to shreds. People are realizing that jumping to conclusions is not healthy, and therefore I think cancel culture is getting better, but I think it's gonna be a while until we get things right. People just haven't been held accountable for so long that it almost reached a boiling point to where people were trying to hold everyone accountable for even tiny things that they did wrong. But we should allow people to make mistakes. So I'm gonna say Amber deserves to live out the rest of her life and have a good one, but she's gonna have to deal with the consequences of her actions. I don't think that she realized when she was doing all this the ripple effect that she would have in so many ways, big and small. Time for the rug reveal. The rug that had absolutely nothing to do with this case, but I just thought it was cute. So let's do it. 3, 2, 1, bam! This is the classic blue Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. Oh yes, that's Billy. He was always my favorite because he was logical and he was smart. Power Rangers is one of my all-time favorite shows, so I really enjoyed making this rug and serving nostalgia. If you have any suggestions of rugs I should make or things I should talk about, let me know in the comments below. Let's keep the conversation going. Let me know your thoughts and who you think is going to win the case, because no matter what happens in the court of public opinion, we already know who's won. All right, the case is signed, sealed, and delivered. If you like this video, I've got your next watch right over here. Just click that right in the corner. If you like my vibe, hit subscribe so you can get more of this. I post once a week, usually on Fridays, and you're not going to want to miss a second of it. I've also linked a playlist with all previous episodes of Tufton Talk at the end of this video. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. My name is Jake Wild, and I'll see you next time. Bye.